Hello, my name is Diana Briscoe with Bridges.Academy, and I'm here with Elizabeth Clinton, who has a system called 52 Helpers. And that is an ancient system to help you understand your gifts, your challenges and obstacles, karma, and patterns. And I'm really excited to ask you more about the system of 52 helpers. Can you let us know what is the 52 help? What are the 52 helpers?
So Diana, the 52 helpers are a title that I gave the 52 playing cards. And when we know about the cards and about our cards, they really can be helpers. It's knowing your gifts, it's knowing where you may have challenges. And the construct is ancient. In the book of Revelations, they talk about the playing cards. They say the angel handed me the little book of 52. And during Old Testament times, books were not bound, right? We didn't have binding. And so my belief is that has to do with the playing cards, which would also be based on the 52 minor arcana cards of the tarot.
Wow, that's exciting. I knew about tarot cards, but I just heard about the playing cards only a couple years ago, and I'm surprised I never heard of it before, but it sounds like this predates the tarot as we know it.
I believe so. I believe it does. And isn't it interesting that most wisdom is just like sitting right there on your coffee table or in the drawer, right? There it is. It's always been right there for us to utilize, but as with most deep and profound information, it was only for the few. And so, we make games, we make cards, we make, games out of it, when really, if we look at it, there's 52 cards in a deck, and there are 52 weeks in a year. Each deck of cards has 4 suits. There are 4 seasons in every year. If you take, there are 13 cards in each suit. There are 13 weeks in each season, 13 new moons a year. If you take ace through 14 and add them up in each deck, it equals 91. There's 91 days in each season. Times that by the 4 seasons, you get 365. Or if you take ace of hearts all the way through king of spades and add those numerology, the numbers, it equals 364. Add the joker, don't forget about the joker, it equals 365 and a quarter, because the joker gets the value of a quarter for each suit and a quarter for himself, and that's the number of days in a year. It's symbolic, but there's also a method to the madness, and here it is in plain sight, and we didn't even know it. But we think of our vernacular, it's all in the cards, right? Oh, that's the hand you were dealt, right?
Exactly.
Or the numerology of the cards, right? Lucky number 7. 7's right in the middle, right? Between ace and king. It's lucky, it can go either way, right? Or to the 9, right? We say to the 9s. 9 is the end of numbers before we go into back to repeat to 10, which is a 1 with everything with a 0. So there's a lot more to it than just, playing cards. There's symbols, and they go way beyond what we would consciously think. And I think that it's even probably in our subconscious and in the collective unconscious, these cards. I mean, why do the decks never change the way that they do it? Why are the playing card decks always pretty much the same? When they try and change them, they don't really make it. So it's been around for a long time.
It's like so exciting, so much information that's so rich, and how I didn't think of it as corresponding to the whole year. So there's the whole, wow, I can really nerd out on the whole wheel and the seasons, and so it has aspects of it has astrology and numerology and the seasons. This is exciting. So what kind of transformation, like what's the most transformative breakthrough that somebody's had once they've discovered their card or their birth date, their their birth date is how you calculate like their basic, is that kind of like their
Yeah.
sun sign cards, or?
Yeah, you could call that, you could call your birth, you know, you have a sun sign, which would be your birth card, and then you have a rising, which would be your personality card. I'll use myself as an example. The most profound thing, I met my husband when I was 50 years old, and a friend wanted to fix me up. I'd never been on a blind date before, and I wasn't going to do it. I'd been reading cards, you know, doing this work for quite some time. And my friend actually got down on her knees and said, please meet him, please meet him. And she had asked me for probably over a year and a half to meet this guy. Finally, I said to her, what's his birthday? Because I was going to see where our connection was. And she didn't know. And I said, well, is he on Facebook? Yes, Facebook's fabulous because people list their birthdays. You always get to know their card. And so she told me his birthday, and I charted us. It's really simple. It's a simple thing to do. And I said, I'll meet him. And she goes, you will? And I said, yeah, he's my Venus. And I know for me, I want to be in a relationship that's love-based, you know, and someone who's my Venus card. And I will say it was love at first sight. And so that's, you know, that's for me. Another thing is, I think when people learn their card, you're able to know the gifts and the challenges of that card. So for my clients, as you know, as a practitioner, I'm able to help my clients really utilize their gifts and work through their challenges. So it works on so many different levels, you know, and we look at the different domains, right? If we're looking at love, there's relationships, there's friendships, there's business relationships. Where does that come in? And there's different cards for all that. We know how our card relates to that. Vocation, you know, what are you best, what vocation best suits you? Some people, I mean, if they're in an office, it will truly make them crazy. You know, if they're a fives are like, whoa, I'm out of the box of the four. They want to move it, you know? And, you know, prosperity and finance, where does prosperity want to find you? Where are the best places for you to put your buckets to receive the prosperity that wants to find you? Health, right? Where, you know, where are your gifts of health, and where are there some challenges regarding health perhaps? And spiritual connection, you know, that's not for everyone, but for those who it is, this is how you best connect. So my belief is the 52 helpers, that's why I call them helpers. They all want to help. They provide a construct, right? So that we can easily initiate connection with ourselves, with another, with our clients. And that's where, to me, it's a great jumping off point for so many different relationships with self and with others.
Wow, this is really exciting. I can see how everyone's life can shift, and then they can actually be where they're meant to be and design their life around, you know, knowing themselves and not wasting time doing what they're not supposed to, or just understanding themselves, which is key to, you know, resolving so many things. Wow. Have you ever seen that somebody was heading in a direction and you wanted to influence them with, you know, their card, or let them know, you know, hey, you're somewhere you shouldn't be, or you're out of alignment of some way, and they just wouldn't listen?
Diana, this is a really good question. And here's a story.
Okay.
So a client met someone, and she came and she was on cloud nine. She was in love. She was totally in love. And so there's also a way to do actual readings with the cards. I usually just use people's birth things, but we will learn how to do actual readings with them. It's a little different than tarot, the way that you do it. Anyway, I did a reading, and a card showed up that was that in the place that it showed up. Sometimes it's fabulous, but in this placement, which we'll learn, it was dishonesty. And I said, you need to really check out this guy. You really need to check him out. Just please, it could be fabulous. You know, I don't want to rain on her parade. I don't want to be a downer, but I knew from the card it probably wasn't good, and it turned out he wasn't real.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, that happens to so many women, especially like if you meet someone online and they, you know, they're like,
it was, she was, I mean, she had pictures, she played me recordings of it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is fabulous. And I said, but she was in a period where things could be kind of weird. Things could
Yeah.
be maybe a little off base, right? With the card that she had. And when I actually said, okay, let's take a look, the card that showed up was like, nope. And yeah, it turned out wasn't real. So yes, I have had that happen. And that's just one example.
Yeah, so many people can be like saved and by knowing this,
Well, even
information.
for me saying, okay, I would not, had I not known the cards, I never would have met my husband, because I would have just said, no, I'm done. I'm not doing relationships anymore. And, wah. So yeah, that's why they're helpers, right? That's why they're
Yeah,
helpers.
helpers. This is so exciting. Wow. So I can see how with all this information that there's so much to learn here. Is there a way that you teach people how to do this, or do they come to you in your practice, or are you how are you spreading your knowledge?
I'm the teach a man to fish. So I like to teach. I like to teach it so people have it. And enough to be dangerous, right? Or enough to be helpful, really. So I teach. I've been teaching this for years. I teach it to people who have private practices, who want to use it with their clients. I teach it to people who want to know it for their own personal gain and wisdom. And I also, the people that I teach, provide sessions and, call them readings. It's not really fortune telling because it's in the cards, right? So they provide readings and sessions for their clients, for their friends, for themselves. So yeah, I like to put the information out there. I don't want to be the only one who has it, which is why I teach it.
That's awesome. Wow. So how can people contact you to know more about this?
Well, Bridges.Academy is offering a class, and there's always my list of classes that I'm offering through Bridges is available. As far as sessions go, I'm not seeing clients anymore, but the people that I train, I do have a referral list that I'm happy to refer people if they do want a session, and they can reach me through Bridges, and I can refer them to someone that I've trained who's certified, who can provide a fabulous session for them. But I'm like, learn how to do it. Why not? It's fun. It's interesting. And it's not tough to learn. I like
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to look and see what classes, the dates, or when your next availability is, because I want to learn more about this. I'm really inspired by hearing about this wisdom, and thank you for being with us and sharing your knowledge.
My pleasure, Diana. Thank you.
Thanks.